Access CRM is a cloud-based portal that connects to Microsoft Dynamics CRM Online. Much like CRM, it can be quickly and easily provisioned and, due to the way it has been designed, can be customized without using a developer. This video will focus on the ease of customization by showing how a custom entity in CRM can be exposed and used in the portal. So to start this process, I have my CRM screen up and I'm going to create the entity. Now I'm not going to go too much into how you achieve this. I'm going to assume that whoever's watching this either has someone that can create an entity for them or knows how to do so themselves. So I'll just pop into here and create a new entity. Now my entity purpose is to capture accreditations against the contact, i.e. Any sort of qualifications they've got. So I'll just give it the correct names there. I'll display it in sales, that's fine. Don't need any of that. That's fine. I'll also just change that a little bit. Okay, save my entity. Now that that's saved, I will just create a quick relationship to contacts. Let's do that. So the primary entity is contact, related to accreditation. And we should call this the contact. Okay, that is business required. Save and close that. And I'll just create one more field. Okay, just to capture the date that the person gained the accreditation. Make it date and time, date only. So save and close that. And finally, I will just publish my entity. Now that I've created my custom entity in CRM, what I need to do next is to enable that entity within the portal. Now here I am on the portal screen and I've logged in as an administrator. So if I go to configuration and then I need to select the web form CRM configuration. There's my instance that I'm connecting to. And right down the bottom, enabled entities, I can now select accreditation. So I should go down, see there's a lot of entities as standard in CRM. Click save, that's saved my configuration and I should now be able to work with the accreditation entity. So what I can do next is I can add a form. So if I go ahead and add content and add a web form, so I'll call this accreditation form. Okay, and I can see here that my principal CRM entity of accreditation is now available. So if I select that and click save, okay, it now creates a blank form for me, and I can see here that I have all the fields required on the right hand side here. So I can start dragging these on. So let's have the contact first that the accreditation is for. Let's have the accreditation name. Oops. Drag that on. And then let's also drag on the date gained field. Okay, once I'm happy I can click save. And then the only other thing to do is on the form settings just say that I want to have no redirect, i.e. it goes back to the previous page I was on. So click Save Configuration, and that is my form created. I can view that form now if I want to, so there's the form itself. But what I really want to do is I want to link this up to the contact section here that is the standard part of the Access CRM portal. Now, in order to create a table of accreditations that I can display against a contact, I'm going to use a feature in the portal called Views. Now, all Views allows me to do is to slice and dice and display data however I want, any data that is exposed to the portal. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new view. First things first, I'll give it a name. Okay, and then I'm going to say I want to show accreditations. Okay. Now, I'm not going to create a page. I'm going to create something called a block, which basically allows me to place this table wherever I want on any page. I'm going to use the inbuilt paging functionality as well. So I continue and edit that. You'll see it creates the basis of this table for me. So if I just go into settings here and say that I want to display this as a table. Okay, it gives me some additional settings here. I'm not going to go over all these settings. It's a bit beyond this demonstration, but suffice to say you can change your table and the layout, etc., etc. So the next thing I need to do is I need to add the fields that I want to display. So this is a standard one, which I actually don't want. So I'm going to go ahead and add some additional fields. So we'll have the name and we'll have the date gained. Okay, so we apply that display there. Yeah, we'll use the labels as they are. Okay, and that will create my table for me. Now, I'm also going to say, obviously, not everyone's going to have accreditation, so I'm going to add a no results behavior here, and I'm going to say, make it a global text area and say, please add an accreditation. Okay, and I'm going to also add something called a contextual filter. Now, I know that on my contacts page, the part of the URL is the GUID for the contact ID. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to filter the contact by the contact, and I'm going to say what I want is I want it from the URL and its path component to. Okay, so if I apply that, that will then make sure that you only see the accreditations valid against a particular contact. So I'm going to click Save, and that should be my table created. So the next thing we need to do is we need to place that table next to a relevant contact, and that's what we'll be doing next. In order to show my table in the correct place, I need to put the block that I've just created onto the correct page. So first of all, I'm just going to quickly show you the page where we're trying to put it. So if I view this particular contact, you can see at the moment it's just the basic details, no accreditation showing at all. So if I now go to the blocks admin section of the portal and scroll down, I can see the block that I've just created. There it is, view accreditations, and I can configure it. So I'll just give it a title. Oops. And then I'll say in my particular theme, which is this one here at the top, I want it to display in the content section of the page. And finally, I can say I only want this table to display on contact pages. So if I go ahead and save that settings now and close that, you can see a new accreditation section appears at the bottom here. So what I can do now is I can add a new accreditation for this person. Obviously, they haven't got any in the minute. So if I click Add Accreditation, my form comes up. There's the contact ready populated. And let's say that this person got a BSc in Computer Science. And let's say they got it at the beginning of October. If I click Submit, like any other form on the portal, it adds instantly to the portal. And if I now click back to the CRM system and go and find my contact, there he is, David Wilkinson. Okay, and I'll quickly shift back to the classic view. Okay, and there's the accreditations section, and I can see it has been written correct date and time into the accreditation section of CRM. If you're interested in finding out more, please feel free to use the contact details shown. Thank you for listening.